before I get started on talking about vector monitoring drift, let's talk a little bit about how to define a vector on Fiddler. So we have a number of different features at the bottom here. You'll see F250, F185, etc. So users will actually bring in all of these features and group them to create our vector. So it's very similar to the example that we were following when we were learning about how to create embeddings. So once the user has grouped their features and created their vector, they can also assign a number of clusters. In this case, there are 5 clusters assigned to our vector 1. And if I go ahead and expand this vector to view the feature distribution, I can see the 5 clusters defined. Now, what this is telling me is that as I look at every single cluster, I can see that the production and baseline data are about the same, no matter what cluster I focus on. This is to tell us that there's little to no change in the drift of our text. Now, let's click on the next data point in our monitoring chart. Now I can see that the drift value has increased, and I can also see that in clusters 1, 3, and 5, the production and baseline are quite different. And now we can start to see that drift. Now let's click on the third and last data point in our monitoring chart. Now this one has the most substantial drift, and we can really see it amongst clusters 1, 3, and even 2. And what you'll notice is that none of the clusters completely disappear. This is because we've used Word2Vec, as I mentioned, to create the embeddings used. However, Word2Vec creates embeddings for individual words in a sentence. And there are general words that can be used across any topic or domain. If we had leveraged more sophisticated embedding methods to maybe consider, whole sentence or context, it's possible that we would see even more clear changes.